Hello my friends. Welcome, 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 welcome. I hope this finds you well today in celebrating life. Celebrating life with whatever mood you're in and however you're feeling. Like, however you're feeling, because all the feelings, what I realize when I celebrate my life is celebrating all of it. Celebrating all of it, all of the experiences that you're having. Because during the day, do you know how many, with thousands and thousands of thoughts we have during the day, which is not even mine, but I can have a thought about everything. Like, I can have a thought about my hair. I can have a thought about the mascara that's left on my eyelashes from like yesterday. I can have a thought about my morning. I can have a thought about my friends. I can have a thought about my work. I can have a thought, thoughts. Oh, I allow them and they all just bubble up and I'm just like pick and choose. It's kind of amazing that you can really pick and choose. Like pick and choose, you can't pick and choose your thoughts. You can pick and choose the ones that you would like to follow. And it's also really, really cool to not follow any of those thoughts that lead to any, like, give it a try and celebrate that you have a choice and that you can change the mind. If that's not news, I don't know what. I think it should be in the newspaper. I think it should be in the newspaper every day to realize and recognize that you're not your thoughts. It would be great, like, if we had a newspaper that said, "You are not your thoughts." What are your thoughts telling you today? Which ones do you want to follow? Whose thoughts are you thinking? Are you thinking socialized thoughts? Are you thinking your own personal thoughts? It's very interesting because if there is no such thing as time, and I'm one of those freaks that like, and I celebrate freak. Freak is just a label. My friends, don't freak out because I label myself as a freak. Because I'm no label at all. But what was I just saying? Yeah, I'm also forgettable. Forgetful. But like, you know, if there was a newspaper, like, just letting us know that there's a new time dawning and that we can celebrate all of it. Like, we're not have to be subjected to any of the thoughts that take us down a certain road that makes us feel like, oh my god, I cannot be sad. And all of these thoughts that are relating to the sadness. And also, like, it's not really, you know, that's what I realized. I realized. But what is it that also, what is it that realizes? Oh yeah, this is also something to celebrate. You can celebrate taking the I out of everything. I, me, I this, I that, I think this, I think. It's very also interesting. What would also be in my celebration news, the news to celebrate, is that I'm none of these things. Like, I'm none of these things. And that is a good reason to celebrate, my friends. Because you're not anything, any label that you are giving yourself. I don't know, doesn't it seem ludicrous? And like, let me just go back to the I. The I is developed, I think, like I'm thinking that it was developed when we were like 2. And we were like, our egos start to develop, and you know, like, I feel I'm, the ego starts developing. And then you start recording in your head and everything. I'm here to remind you that all of that is just a recording. So if you can just see your, I don't know, human experience as like a computer that's recording everything, this is really, really leading to self-actualization. It's just really simple. Like, it's really simple to recognize that. And it alleviates immediately so much pain. Although, people identify with the I. You know, I feel sad. I feel like I'm not gonna get this. I feel happy. I always want to feel this way. I like that. I don't like that. And then I realized, you know, it's really interesting because conversation is weird. Like I used to like really, a conversation can lead to lead to an agreement maybe, or it can lead to like it can lead to so many feelings that you have, and you can be overwhelmed, and you can cry, and you can laugh, and you can have great conversations that are stimulating for sure. My boyfriend and I constantly communicating on a level that I just never have ever really known. And that's very stimulating for me. But at the end of the day, it's like we learn our language, right? We learn it. And it's like, I don't know, relate to, you know, words differently. Like for me, predominantly I speak English. Well, I always speak English because I don't really speak in other languages. I speak German and a little Swedish, and I understand a little Dutch, but it doesn't matter. But what I'm just trying to say is that when I travel, English is the dominant language that is used. So words in a different country, especially when it's not your mother tongue and they're English, mean different things. I mean, table can mean a different thing. Also to individuals. Have you ever also thought that, you know, like this plant is green, right? This is cute, right? This plant is green. It's by Hank's mom. She gave it to me. Us. But what is like, we learned green, right? The color green and then green. You learn that. So with every object, like, but have you ever thought, you know, maybe perhaps your green is not my green? What I'm just saying is that we take in a lot of information and we decipher that information in our brains. How does that happen? That's really remarkable to celebrate, because then you can realize that all of these thoughts are being compartmentalized because they're just there to kind of protect you. Because when we were primal, we had that fight-flight response, and definitely in your spiritual search, you would come across the fight or flight response and celebrate all of that. Celebrate that fear, celebrate all that stuff. Because we've learned to compartmentalize everything, and we've learned everything with a word and with a picture, you know, like bird, B-I-R-D, table, T-A-B-L-E, you know what I mean? And just like, and gay, straight, you know, like we've compartmentalized everything, and that's what you're dealing with when you have your thoughts. And so because it's just conditional and conditioning, you recognize that you are not that. That's when you recognize that you're not all that. And then life just takes on a whole different journey. And it can be confronting because what is once familiar, we stay familiar with things, habits and behavior, and familiar because it feels somehow more safe, you know what I'm saying? And so, I don't know, but when you celebrate life and you celebrate all of it, you know, happy people, you can also have a feeling or a thought that happy people are dangerous. You know, I said that before, because people can't deal with people being really happy. And I say, you know, just like, it is my choice because I can find love and happiness in everything, even drama, like and anger, because I see the person being hijacked, and I can have such compassion for the people, you know what I mean? And also for myself, because I don't get hijacked anymore, nor do I get emotionally blackmailed by my head, because I have to say, that is just, I don't know, when you're aware of it, you're like, oh my god, the judgery is here. Like, oh my god, here comes the army, here they come, the enemies are coming, they're all coming into your head, and they're like relating to hell and demons and all this stuff like that. It's really, really funny when you just observe it. I can just say that, you know, when you're observing everything, observing your existence, observing your life, just observing, like observing other people, observing how people respond, how you respond, you realize that what is real, especially when you start to realize, it seems as though there is time, because over time when we grow up, we start to realize certain things. But what is real? Nothing. I think that that teenager that you were, or that child that you were, none of that is real. Nothing changes. nothing changes other than like more experiences, and more experiences come into your existence because, yeah, you're living. And you get to choose how you relate to that, and we're socialized, so we don't get to choose. We don't get to choose because we have to do everything. You know, we had to go to school, we had to learn how this worked. I never used anything that I learned in school because I dance. Like, they didn't teach dance in school. Do you know what I mean? So who would have known I became like this professional dance artist? What an amazing life. I'm really, really grateful for that. But at the same time, it brought me somewhere. So all the contrast and all the stuff, celebrate the contrast, because if we were walking around happy all the time, it would be so strange. I mean, in the sense, because I'm happy with sadness. How can you say? Because it's celebrate it all. Celebrate your roles, celebrate the masks that you wear, and maybe eventually you want to take them off because you have more strength when you're being vulnerable, and vulnerability is everything. Vulnerability is everything, more than anything, more than life itself. Could I say that? More than your job. Like, vulnerability is so much more than your job, or more than anything that you create, or, you know, like, because in order to create something, I don't know, like, you know, I'm always talking about vulnerability because it's just king. It's just king. And that's living courageously. I love it. I love it so much. So celebrate, like, celebrating life and all of its glory, and letting go. You have a possibility to let go, and a lot of people will not realize that. Celebrate the fact that you can't let go, because then you realize you're celebrating something that you'll recognize. And if you can't let go, it's the ego. Ego's really, really tight. It's really tight. And just remember that, you know, never ever take anything personal from anybody. Even if they're annoyed with your happiness, or even if they're annoyed with the way you are, I think always respect. You know, you don't intentionally, there are people, of course, intentionally want to hurt you because I think they're suffering. So they project out into the world what they are, and they can't deal with it. They can't deal with themselves because there's a lack of love, or lack of awareness just in general, because we all have these thoughts and things and everything, but you're not those things. That is so wonderful to celebrate. I really, really, really hope that maybe, perhaps you can recognize that within yourself, and you can just lighten up, and just lighten up your day, like lighten up people, and like celebrate it. Celebrate it all. Celebrate it all. Yeah? It's just so gorgeous. And let go. I love you so much, and thank you for watching me today, and I'll see you when I see you. Big kiss, and thanks for the support. Bye, guys.